this is Beth from Art by Bedell. Today I'll be working on my prompt called From the Day. I read it originally as Back in the Day, so we can do From the Day just as easily, and this is day 14, January 14th. I have the back of this page, which was the 13th of hobbies, and I need to put my number 13. If you remember right, I told you yesterday I'm waiting for a stamp set to come in. So I will then put a piece of stationery in here for that day. But I'm also going to use this part for this, both of these together for the 14th, for today. So for here on this side, I want to add this piece of, it's just a printable. I'm not even sure where I got it from, but it's just putting some script on my page is what it's doing. So I want to go ahead and put some glue on that. Put that down. So all I had to do, this was the size this piece of paper was, this printable was, and all I had to do was just fold down this corner here to get it to match this corner here. And then I inked up around the edge. Yes, I inked up around the edge. So on here then, I'm going to add an old photograph. With this prompt, I am adding photos from the day that will remind us from the day. So I think I'll put it like right down over here, but I need something more underneath it. And I have this little piece of paper scrapped. I'm picking stuff off my table, what I have left here. I'm working on like 1, 2, 3 projects at a time. So I have various scraps of this and that laying all around me here. And when I need a piece, I'll just pick off something from that when I'm doing this journal. Sometimes I go further and look for something specific. So I have this, and I think I want to add that right here also behind my picture. So I'll glue that down. So From the Day, for me, would bring back memories of family being together all the time. Picnics, family picnics, and holidays. We'd always have a bunch of people together. And it was always, everything with our family was centered around the family. You don't find that so much nowadays. You know, family is very important to most of us. I'm going to say most of us. But family is also very, very busy now compared to what it used to be. So I will glue this down. Let's see, do I want to put something behind that? I have a piece of packaging that I could put behind that. And this is just from an Amazon bag. Let's get it down to about that size. So it's a loss, I think, a big loss, that the families don't get together as much as they used to. I have also picked out 3 different stamps that I'm going to incorporate into this double page spread here. One is memories, one is family, and we do not remember days, we remember moments stamp. I think I'm going to put, I have the number 14 I want to incorporate in here. So I'm going to put number 14 over here. And then over on this side now, I have this printable postcard, and I am going to go ahead and stitch around the outside edge of this, and I'll be back. This is not a postcard, it is a faux envelope. So from the day, back to that, we would send letters to each other instead of texting, and we would actually call and talk on the phone instead of texting and all that. So this reminds me, this envelope reminds me of letters in the mail and more of a personal contact with each other than what we used to have. So I'm going to glue that down also. Then we have a couple photos. Now this one is a photo where somebody actually went to a photographer and had their picture taken. And this one is just a snapshot with a camera outside a house. But they're old photos, and I thought maybe we'd put them in there from the day. They are pictures from the day. And let me take my 3 different stamps here, and I'm going to stamp them on some packaging here. I'm going to do all 3 of them. Use our Versamark ink, and I'm going to go ahead and use the bronze because it matches the page better than this right, I have my 3 stamps all stamped up on some packaging paper. We're going to tear these down so they're not quite so big here and get a torn edge on all 4 sides of it. We do not remember days, we remember moments. We have family, and we have memories. Now let me see if I can tell you where these are from. Family is Northwoods rubber stamps, no number on it. Memories is Northwoods, no number on it. We do not remember days, we remember moments is unreadable. Then we'll put some ink around the edges of these. So I'm not sure how you feel about it when a prompt brings more like thoughts to my mind rather than action to take as far as what to do in the journal. Yes, it does give me an idea with what to do in the journal, but it's not usually, I won't say not usually. Sometimes it's not like an earth-shattering technique or anything. It's just trying to get a message across as to what back in the day would mean to me. And back in the day for me is going to mean memories of family, togetherness, and it's going to be the moments that we're going to remember, not necessarily each day of our life. It's going to be specific moments in our life that we're going to remember. So I will get my number on here. I will get now 2 pieces of stationery made so that I can journal on that. I must glue these down. I just laid them up there. I don't know whether I thought they were going to actually stay there. I think this needs to have something behind it. My old standby is always to go to the Momigami paper that I love so well. Maybe we could come up with something different here. I think just a piece of dictionary paper. This has some really good color on it. And this is just a piece of cleanup paper. So we'll take a piece of this, just big enough for the stamped image to sit on, because I don't want to cover up my envelope very well, very much. Yeah, that gets some color behind that. The whole thing is so very, very plain. I have to say, guys, I don't like it. This is okay, and I know it'll be okay after I get the number on. I don't like this. It just needs some color. I just can't seem to make this come together into anything that I'm happy with. I'm going to step back, let this sit for a while, and then I'll be back to it. All right, so I'm back. I have come up with this idea, and this was the piece that I punched from day, let's see, day 10. If you'll go back, you'll see I punched it along my vellum. And I also punched it on a piece of paper. I had it laying on my desk, so I picked it up and I laid it there. And I thought, that's really nice, but it would hinder my opening of my envelope. So what I did was I just cut it in half, and then I glued this down. I also was thinking about back in the day. Back in the day would be memories of my grandma. My grandma loved to crochet. I think she was the artist in the family where I would get my inspiration from her. She taught me how to crochet, and then it just kind of snowballed from there. But my true love was paper. Hers was thread. So I'm going to put this there, and that will make me think of my grandma, and it also dresses up our page a little bit more. So, and I don't know whether this is crocheting or tatting. I think it's probably tatting. I'm not sure. No, it looks like crochet. But I'm not an expert on the subject, so I could be wrong. But let's just put this down here. And those are memories of Grandma. Again, back to family, right? Now, my other thought is, I have added a little bit of color here, and it's the yellow, the neutral color. So I'm thinking, okay, what would be the color if I were to take my watercolors and just put a little bit of color here and there? Let's take our pictures out. Put a little bit of color here and there. We have orange, and sometimes I'll take like my washi tape if I have a color I'm thinking of and lay a piece on there. And I'm thinking actually of teal, but I don't really have a teal piece of washi tape to put on there. But let's see. I do have some green mixed with this orange. We're going to go with teal, and it'll either sink or swim. The color that I've chosen is an Arteza watercolor, and it's Viridian Green. We're just going to add a little color here and there. Whoa, that's intense. I keep forgetting like how intense that these Arteza colors are. This is more of what I wanted down here. I added some splatters with that. I think I want to add some white splatters too. My watered down gesso. Much happier with this page. Now it's going to take some drying time. Some of my splatters are a little bit thick. So we'll have to set this aside before we can put our photos back in and let it dry. And meanwhile, maybe the mailman will come and bring us our numbers, and then we could finish this up. So I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, so my splatters are dry, and I have decided that I want to add a little safety pin. I have this wee little tiny one here, and a little bit of the beads that I have, because the beads are going to remind me also of my grandma back in the day, and she used to have some pearls. So I will just take these little pearls, attach them to my pin. There we go. We have some little beads on there that resemble pearls. And it adds a little bit more of a vintagey type look to it. And maybe we need a tag on that pin also. There we go. This little circle tag here has some foliage on it. Not necessarily flowers, but I think it would be pretty on here. So the problem with our page before was that it wasn't done. It needed more on it. So I'm thinking this is looking much, much better. Let's put our pictures back in. And then when our number stamps come, we'll add our dates to this page and this page. So, and let's see, how about we make a couple pieces of stationery, or even just a card to put in here that we can journal on. Something like this. I think that's what we'll do. So we'll set that aside. And we have to have thought for the day and our gratitude. And then we'll just tear those. So on one side, we're going to put thought for the day. And then the other side, we'll put gratitude. And how about we take a little bit more of our watercolor and add some of the green to our page. And then instead of our script stamp, we're going to take this, we do not remember, and ink it up and then stamp it off and then stamp it on, just so that we get some background on our paper here. It's hard to see. It's faint, and that's what I wanted. I wanted it to be faint. Then I'm going to put it in behind the photos, like that. There we go. I am very happy now with that page. Let's get a piece of stationery or something over here for this day. And I have this that I was going to use the other day and then didn't like it. And I think maybe it'll work inside here. So this is another piece of coffee stained copy paper, and it's been all inked up. We need to add some color to this. And some of the paper that I used in the design on the other side was this. So let's add some of this to the topper on this. So this page could actually go this way, which would be pretty cool. And I also want to take that same stamp with it, we do not remember, and just get a little bit of it on here throughout the whole piece of paper. And that creates a bit of a background. we should have some sort of focal point on this. So let's see what I can find. Maybe a photo. How about Grandma and her sister? I ink up around the edge of that. And I'm just going to add it to the flap, just on the side there. That's pretty cute, isn't it? Get some ink on the back of that. Let's put this in our book. See how it fits. Just like that. I'm not really impressed with the way that shows on this side. So I'm gonna rip it off. And then we put it in there. And it won't show on this side. That makes me happier. I'd rather see this than just the plain paper. So the prompt for the day, which is back in the day, is for the 14th, today's date of the 14th. And it is complete. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you again soon. Bye now.